evening, everyone. Well, yeah, it is evening. Nice cloudy day, I guess you'd call it. I don't know. I'm on my way back from Dancing Horse Farm. This is probably the beginning of a new video. Your editor, my son, Kim, got the card today, the SD card, whatever you want to call it. And it is his birthday today. So, happy birthday, Alec. Also, yeah, the big 28. Currently rolling through Waynesville. Just check my speed. I'm good. There was a local out here earlier running radar. I am good. So yeah, it's been crazy last few days, and I haven't done any recording because we just haven't done much. Yesterday was a big day. Before that, we just sat back and watched it rain and thought about is our hay that we have down going to be worth a damn or not. So I had hay down at the end of St. John and Jasper Road, second cutting alfalfa over there. It got rained on. It was tethered. It wasn't going to make much. I think I did a little recording on that. I'm not sure when I cut it. I can't remember if I did or not. But anyway, I had Chad tether it because he was out tethering and I knew it wouldn't take long. It wasn't very thick, wasn't very tall, because it was, you know, we had that dry spell. So there just wasn't going to be much there, and I knew that. So that got rained on while it was tethered. Chad had several acres down of grass hay, first cutting, got rained on. It was all tethered out. Yesterday the sun was out. We got Mike on tethering it, and I went and raked the alfalfa over there at Jasper and St. John. It was still tough. We actually wanted to go in and square bale that first before we went to the big field, because knowing that if we get back here to the big field, it's going to be late in the evening before we get done there. Squirrel, but we're about to be passed by a Chevy pickup that is just hauling the mail. See you later. Okay, it's 60. I'm doing 60. I was doing 58 when he passed me. You go on then. Tomorrow I got a load going to Cincinnati tomorrow morning. And I don't think I'm going to load that yet. I'm going to wait and see what the weather does, but I'm going to try and keep the trailer floor dry. Because I don't want to load hay on a wet trailer, and I think I'm going to have time to load that in the morning with it not raining. So that's that. We're just about into Spring Valley here. In fact, we are in Spring Valley. Well, Spring Valley Township, just past the county line, Warren County into Greene County. That's that. We're gonna get home, check on the cattle, and call it a day, call it an evening. We'll see you in a little bit. Evening, everybody. Yeah, it's evening. It's about, I don't know, 6:20 or something like that. This is Monday the, whatever, June 20th something. It's not Juneteenth, I can tell you that. Anyway, we are here at Chris Reeves. Sorry, Chris, if I'm saying that wrong. Getting some hay cut down here. Yeah, my phone's ringing. I better see who that is. Okay, well, that was somebody looking for second cutting. One of Chad and ours ice customers, ours. Anywho, yeah. Ouch. You're always gonna find some tree branches that have fallen alongside a tree, especially in 3-foot tall grass. Yeah, you can't see it. You just hear it when it goes through the mower. Speaking of things that damage the mower and all that, well, just worn out parts. We had one of our skid plates underneath the mower was cracked, and actually plowing in the dirt when I finished up mowing at Kirkendale's on their hillside over there. Dad's over here too. Wave, Dad. Okay. Anywho, so I got finished cutting there. I just had to keep it raised a little bit, and finished cutting that and on the hillside, and which, by the way, we're going to round mill, and then went back. The guys welded it. Dad and Chad, thank you. I got loaded, started on a load of hay. that I gotta get delivered tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. anyway. Why would you name a town tomorrow? Where are you going? I'm going tomorrow. When are you going? Tomorrow. The sky's looking dark up that way, yeah? We got a 60% chance of rain tonight. That is why I am putting it in windrows like it is right here. The last hay that we cut, and it got a bunch of short rain on it. Short rain, light rain, for like 2 days, less than an inch, barely even measurable on the rain gauge. It wasn't tethered yet. It was just in windrows like this. It wasn't hurt at all. Not at all. You can't even tell it rained on it. And so being in a bunch like this, it will protect it. If it's slayed out and fluffed out with the tether, it gets more rain, it gets more damage. The only thing, if it does rain on it like this, you don't want to leave it lay long, especially if it's humid. You want to get that scattered out pretty quick because it will start to mold, it will start to rot. You will smell it. A couple more passes here, we'll be done with this long stretch. It's clouding up, we may get some rain, and may have to close up the windows here. We'll see. This is going to make some really beautiful hay. There's plenty of Timothy in here. There's clover that's just starting to die out, and there's grass. Going to make some really good hay, and going to make a lot of it. I say if we adjust the baler right, we're probably looking at least 600 bales in here, at least. So this is 7 acres. We cash rent this ground, so this is ours to do what we want. I'd like to see if Eli and Jen will be interested in taking at least 100 bales of this. It's real convenient. They're just down the road over there. So or maybe a little bit of Willie's. We'll see. Willie's is going to look just like this. And Willie's is looking good this year. We've had so much trouble with that. I think I've had it on this channel where just had trouble getting that to grow. We've reseeded it a couple times. And the only difference is this year, he talked his wife into putting their horse manure out there. This year it looks better. Okay, that's what it needed. It needed some fertilizer. I had some soil tests done on that and never got fertilizer put on it. We was gonna wait till after the first cutting. We'll see. There's Tedder Man Mike. He's doing a great job actually. I'm not cutting here at Willie's. I got the ditch line that runs through there. Gonna head back home with this unit. And Mike is heading right at me. I need to get out of it. There it is. All right. We're gonna head back home with this unit. Like I said, he's gonna finish tethering. We're gonna leave that here. Somebody's gonna come and get him here in a little bit. I'd say he's got, I don't know, 20 minutes, something like that, half hour. He'll be done. So, you know, he covers 2 swaths to my 1, so he's moving right along. And man, that smoke, it just looks like off in the distance it's raining. It's not. That's the smoke, that's the haze. So I'm gonna look at the forecast. I don't think we ought to cut anything else, but hey, you just never know about me. All right, see you soon. Good Lord, what are they eating? Something fresh. Get while it's fresh. Okay. No thanks. Good. Swerve around that. Mahinder's on the trailer. Oh, watch out. What the? Okay. Now that we have all the buzzards out of the way, Mahinder's on the trailer, wagon behind me. We are headed over towards Bowersville. I think the first field we are doing is the township. It was light, not much there. It's probably the driest. Mike's gonna be ahead of his raking. Dad should, if he hasn't had the first bales made, he will have here soon. And so I'm heading over and start picking up bales. The grapples went over previously on a wagon, so that's done. So yeah, we're headed over there. We're gonna make some hay. We got some boys that want to unload a wagon in this heat today. They are chomping at the bit to do it, man. They want to unload a wagon load in Willie's barn. Talked him into getting a wagon load from another field because we're probably doing Willie's last, and I think these boys have something else going on this afternoon. So we're gonna get him a wagon load of hay in his barn first. I've got 84 degrees on my thermometer here. Funny thing this morning, I shaved my head in the shower. My grandson Braxton stayed all night with us. I sent the wife to the couch. Me and Braxton slept in the bed, and she was outnumbered. It was 2 to 1, so that's what she had to do. And so I woke up this morning, like I said, took a shower, shaved my head in the shower like I normally do. And note to self, and maybe yourself also, don't buy cheap razors from the Dollar Tree. Or they should call it the $1.25 tree. I don't know if you've been in one lately. Sometimes you can find good stuff there. Well, Barbasol razors, 3 blades. They need to call them the decapitators. That's an old Bob and Tom thing, if anybody ever watched Bob and Tom radio years ago. Because after I got done, and after I even put lotion on my head because I felt like it was on fire, I went down to feed the cattle. And I think the flies left the cows and headed my way and on my head. They were just all over me, and I could feel them biting me, and it didn't feel good at all. They were trying to get in my ears. I threw 4 square bales over the fence as fast as I could and got the heck out of there. And they chased me clear around to the other barn. I'm like, what is going on here? I thought for sure I'd have welts on top of my head from the bites I was receiving. Come to find out, I have a scrape or a cut on top of my head where I've probably, like I do all the time, bumped my head on something. I mean, it happens so often anymore, I just don't even acknowledge it anymore. You see right there's a wheat field. That stuff's not far off from getting done. I'm gonna give it a week. I know Brian Brown, Brian's farming videos in Chillicothe, I seen on one of his Instagrams where they were gonna try it. The thing I think that would affect it right now is the moisture in it, because it's hazy and it's humid. I think you would have a lot of moisture in that wheat right now, and to let it go for a little bit longer. I'm guessing next week. And with the hay shortage that we have, and you know, it doesn't mean as many dollars in our bank account. I might do some straw if it works out, because we don't usually, because it gets in the way of hay. But straw is pretty simple. You just bale it, you know, and out the back of the combine. You don't have to cut, rake, tedder it or anything. And but you don't make as much money on it. So we're not really in the straw business, but I do get several calls for straw. And I do know somebody who wants to buy it by the semi-load, that I know we could get rid of a couple semi-loads. And I've got an opportunity to do some. I need to call the guy and see where he's at on his straw, and I'm sure it's going to be next week for him also. But we might do some straw. We might do some. The problem is storing it. Where do you store it? And if we can load a trailer at the field or close to it, man, that would be awesome. But we'll see. Well, 373 here at Jefferson Township Field, here beside the cemetery, which is over there. I don't have any family over there, I don't think. Anyhow, I've loaded one wagon, taking it to Willie's. I think the boys are unloading it. Jace and Cole, they worked for me last summer, and then they got back a hold of me. I've loaded a second wagon. They put a little bit more on that one, but there's like 120, 130 left out here. I've got an empty gooseneck trailer. It's gonna go on there. If I have to haul the Mahindra back home later, I will use Chad's tractor to unload the gooseneck if we have to. Or the other thing, I may back this wagon into Willie's barn if the boys want to unload this one. I'll give them that option. I already did throw that option at them, actually, so that may happen. And so yesterday I tuned up the air conditioning on the New Holland, got it going good, and I just had to have more Freon in it. Didn't have enough. Got it ice cold, even on the #1 setting. And asked Dad just a minute ago before he left here and headed down to the next field. Said, how's that air conditioning? He said, I'm not even using it. So why? He said, oh, there's a nice breeze going, I just don't need it. Dad's old school. He's not so big on air conditioning. He will run around on a 90-degree day in his pickup without air conditioning. And the radio in his stuff never gets used. I guarantee you the radio in the tractor hasn't come on yet today. Now, if I'm in it and I have it on and then he gets in it and takes over mowing, baling, sometimes whatever, if he gets in the tractor, he won't turn it off. He'll listen to it. And they said, oh, I really like listening to that. jockey comes in handy. But it keeps me in shape. Push it over. Again, one-handed. That puts them together. That'll help. So 119 on there. I'll see if those boys want to unload that at Willie's, and then I'll have my trailer free. If not, I need to run that home, and Chad's loader is there, and I'll unload that with that. We'll see. So I was just gonna go over a little something. You know, we got all the hay picked up out of this field now. I thought it would look a lot worse. I thought there would be strips in it that you could see real closely. Oh, and by the way, those little blue things, our baler kicks those out every time it makes a knot. I'm not sure if you can tell, there's a little strip of grass right here. Even though I ran through here about 470, 480 RPM at about 6.5 miles per hour, it seemed to me like it didn't want to cut. That mower doesn't like the short stuff. Hopefully you can hear me. If not, this will be edited out. But you know, the short stuff. And there's a lot of fine grass in here like you'd find in your yard that we call fescue. Minus that weed leaf right there, but that is fescue. That is fescue, and some horses can't eat that. I don't know my horse stuff, but yeah. The medical term for it, what they call it. I have been, when I have a new customer call me, they ask to make sure it does not have any fescue in it. That's what that is. Now your thicker blade grass stuff, that's going to be more of a grass that will be okay, but this is regular grass. There is no orchard grass that I see planted in here, and there needs to be. All that was clean. I mean, there's a little bit of clover right here. It's clean hay, but or clean grass. I mean, there's not a whole lot of weeds in it. I see a couple right in there, but not bad. And I mowed it high. We need to get a second cut off this and make out pretty good on it. You know, 373, that's not bad. I'll take that. I'll take those numbers for sure. But you know, we got 1350 in it before we even cut the first blade of grass out of here. So that's where we're at on that. How we doing? I think I might have been right here when I recorded earlier. Oh my gosh, I almost hit the wrong thing here on my truck. You know, crazy stuff when you're on the Mahindra and it has the power shuttle. Well, it's left hand, forward and reverse. Where on this truck, it's the turn signal. You know that, all cars, whatever. So I have found myself getting in this truck wanting to go into reverse and turning left. That happens. So a second ago, I went to hit my signal and almost hit my gear shift, which would have put me into reverse, which would have been bad. Because on the Mahindra, the turn signal's on the right. Why can't they make it all the same? But it's called left-hand power shuttle. That's what it is. It's easier. So we had a little scared a little bit ago. I was listening to the radio. Of course, I listened to a Cincinnati radio station, 700 WLW. And they were talking rain moving in, storms moving in, blah, blah, blah. So I thought, well, you know, that's there. And I'm looking at the sky and it's looking really dark. But of course, can you really tell what it's doing with the smoke in the air? Which is another story I'll get to here in a minute. But, so I checked my radar and I thought, oh crap, we're gonna get rained on. I was picking up hay at Chris Reese's, and I'm about to be past here. I guess this guy's in a hurry. Everybody's in a hurry this week. And they all seem to be in Chevys with the tailgate rusted out. Oh well. Anywho, I was at Chris's picking up hay. Needed one more wagon to get 130 more bales on, and that wasn't going to happen. So we scrambled, called the wife. She came around. She got a wagon. Mike made another trip back. And so I had to just blow the horn at somebody I knew there. That was actually Chris's place that we're going to go back to. There's still 130 bales back here. Mike dropped off an empty wagon. So I told Dad, I said, quit baling. I don't want it to get wet in bales. We can dry it back out if it's in a windrow, whatever. Stop baling. We're going to get rain. Let's get everything back home. So we did. I drove the Mahindra back home because I had 119 bales still on this gooseneck that you see me load up over there at the township. So we got everything back home, and I got a couple drops on me on the way home, driving the Mahindra home, and that was it. But boy, the wind picked up. I mean, some of this corn 2 and 3 foot tall. I thought it was going to blow some of it down here, just looking at the fields, and I'm glad I had my glasses on. But the wind just picked up, and we could see rain in the distance. And but the fields never got rained on. We never got rain at home. Sun's coming out, the brightest I've seen it in a while, and I actually think that the air has cleared up. And I think it's because of the rain that we had off in the distance. You can kind of see a little bit of haze still out, but I think we're better off. So I'm back over here at Willie's. I'm going to see how much is left to bale. I might jump in the baler, finish baling, and then we'll pick up. 40% chance of rain tomorrow. If I can get this all baled tonight, let's get it done. So I'm going to check that out. If the moisture's going to be too high, then no, we won't do it. But so I'm going to finish baling and pick up, and we'll see. We might get this done tonight. It's going to be a late night for me for sure. I'm by myself. And I'm going to just put the gooseneck in the ditch a little bit back here. Okay, should have swung wider. Okay, is what it is. We're through. Okay. Ha! Wow.